Buffy the Vampire Slayer is a show that explores the themes of life through the tool of monsters and supernatural forces. In its fourth season, it introduces the struggle of being queer and how coming out and venturing through your first relationship might look, albeit it is mostly through the metaphor of magical forces due to premiering on a homophobic network. Tara is introduced through her relationship to one of the main four characters, and she is the turning point for the show to address this metaphor of homosexuality. Tara begins a relationship with Willow, and by extension, all of the viewers who care about Willow. And for some, this means they start to care for Tara as well. Tara also cares for us, the viewer, which isn't to say she is a real person, but is to say that those who had a hand in creating her, in all their faults, created someone that has the ability to save lives. I personally take my own issue with many of the choices that the Buffyverse writers make in her storyline, and I'm often saddened that we did not get the chance to understand Tara as a character herself instead of as a love interest. But Tara, the writers who made her, and Amber Benson who brought her to life, all worked to become a force of love in the lives of the people that need it. I don't remember exactly how old I was when I watched Buffy for the first time, but I was young enough that I was still significantly in the closet as a lesbian. Even to myself, lesbianism was not a true option I had. In my first watch, I hated Tara for replacing Oz, who I loved. Being young and deeply in the closet, it is also very true that I disliked her for what it said about me that Willow, a character who I relate to on a visceral level to this day, had the capacity to fall in love with a woman. This is all to say, I was young the first time I watched Buffy, likely between the ages of 10 and 12. Tara wasn't Oz, and she was gay, so I didn't like her, and I didn't want to. But on my first rewatch, I realized something. I spent the 3 seasons of her presence in my first watch hating her scenes, dreading the way she would interact with the character I had chosen as myself in the show. But in my first rewatch, now watching from a place where I was openly gay and accepted by those I love as such, I realized that the character of Tara Maclay had played a major role in my capacity to come out at all, without me even noticing. Tara spends her run as a wallflower, reminiscent of a Willow we're said to have left behind at the destroyed Sunnydale High. But in Season 6, something changes. In her escape from her relationship with Willow, who has grown abusive, the writers allow the audience to peek at who Tara is without Willow as a direct comparison. The friendship between Buffy and Tara in Season 6 remains one of the most explicit acts of love in the series for me. Buffy Summers, distraught and terrified at what it means that Spike can hurt her and that she's letting him do so, asks Tara for help. In the episode Dead Things, I watched with my hatred of Tara, thinking I was only listening to her words so I could get to the next scenes. But at a young age, slowly growing distraught and terrified of what it meant that I was angry about myself insert character dating a woman, as I was tangentially growing nervous around the pretty girls in my classes, I was in Buffy's shoes, even if it wasn't so dramatic a context as me being brought back from the dead. I was a kid, desperate for someone to give me a simple answer about what was wrong with me. I am extremely lucky to grow up in a time where I get to see myself on television in any capacity. But I grew up near small towns, and my interpretation of what it meant to be gay was conflicted. It would have hurt to hear that it was distinctly wrong, but it would have been a clear answer. Buffy is desperate to be told she is wrong, and I was desperate to be told I was as well. But Tara doesn't give us clear and simple. She gives us the truth. Empathetically, earnestly, and with obvious love. As a kid, I wasn't ready to be told that I wasn't the issue in the world around me. I was Buffy, stuck in an abusive relationship, mine with the world and hers with Spike. In my hatred for Tara, I was begging to be told that somehow Willow was wrong for loving her, and as an extension, so was I for the self I found in Willow. I didn't hear the answer clearly, but I got it all the same as a kid. I'm not wrong. And that is a lesson that has kept me alive in my own season 6s. Buffy sobs, begging to be told that she is wrong inherently, and that the fact that she has returned to life, and by extension begun unfamiliar relationships that push her further from the Buffy she feels she must be, is a broken mechanism. It isn't until Tara is gone forever that Buffy crawls out of her hole of despair and depression and fully accepts Tara's lesson to be a truth. On my second watch, Tara was already dead. When she appears in Hush with a zigzag part, a stutter, and shy, she is already the brave, strong, and supportive woman who was ripped out of the world by a bullet in my mind. She always will be. I will never get to watch Buffy and have Tara be a character who is alive again. But I don't need that. And other viewers and characters do not need that to gain the support she offers to those she interacts with, literally or as a work of fiction. Willow, Buffy, and Dawn especially are changed by the love Tara granted them. And though the character of Tara cannot love me, I love her. And she taught me how to accept, and by extension love, myself. And I know many like me, are changed by the love that the character of Tara allowed us to discover. Overall, I never really identified much with Tara. Our only commonality is lesbianism and a love for a certain redhead, but she never was a character I truly related to. And she doesn't have to be. She's a lover, heart at its most obvious center. She cares deeply for those around her. She shows empathy nearly non-stop through the series, despite the fact that about half the time she spends on it, she is experiencing abuse, and much of it is at the hands of the people she is attempting to have her love reciprocated through. But this never stops her. Her love is not conditional the way her father's was. Willow abuses her in what is likely the worst way she possibly can given Tara's history, and Tara, though she sees the problems and holds some disappointment in the actions, eventually returns to Willow, and never stops loving her. As she is such a source of love in the show, it is no surprise that her death comes with Willow thinking that all love has been taken from the universe. Tara is the person who has shown Willow love in the truest form. Through every stupid and manipulative decision and every weak and dorky thing Willow thinks ruins her as a person, Tara has loved her. But Tara's love, as the love of any person, does not disappear when she does. In fact, Willow would never make it off that bluff, no matter what speech Xander gives her, if Tara hadn't given her years of knowledge that there must be something in her that is just worth loving without needing to prove herself. Xander and his love work as the mechanism that shows Willow that love, specifically Tara's love, still exists in the world that Tara no longer occupies. When Xander reflects Tara's stance in Willow's life as a provider of love, when he states openly that Willow is flawed and stupid, and still lovable anyway, it isn't about what Xander himself is saying. It's about the Tara that Willow hears in his words. In Season 7, Willow's ability to develop towards forgiving herself for the acts she committed as a response to losing Tara's love is largely inspired by the presence of Tara and the feelings she had for Willow that still live in Willow herself. This isn't to say that without Tara's forgiveness for her previous sins, Willow would not be able to forgive herself for her more recent ones, but it is to say that with the comprehension of what it means to stop and say, "This was a terrible thing you did, and though there is no way for you to truly take this back, you do get to move forward," occasionally with the added plus of moving towards better things. Willow is eventually able to move forward. In looking to better things, she finds Kennedy, who is widely viewed as the lesser of Willow's girlfriends, to say the least, but no matter what the audience's feelings on either character, Willow does heal from the loss of Tara through the still existing presence of her love, and the ability of other people to build upon that love that has been left in Willow. Broken, filled with grief and guilt, and unable to forgive herself for murdering Warren Mears, but mostly unable to forgive her true crime of allowing herself to move on from Tara, Willow is at risk of disappearing completely inside herself. And Kennedy, who knows nothing about Tara except the love she shared with Willow, is able to use that love as a tool. Willow gets to move forward because Tara showed her a season before that the choice to do so is there. Willow chooses love. And once Kennedy has saved her, she looks up at the house, at the window that represents where the source of love has gone. And she realizes, once again, Tara's love remains in the world. And she doesn't choose to love Kennedy. They're still in first date territory. She chooses the love that Tara gave her for herself. The entire issue with Willow is that her inherent belief is she needs to prove her worth. She needs to prove that she deserves to be loved. But Tara never forced that onto her. Tara loved her after Willow did criminally bad things to her. And Willow aims a gun at Kennedy and begins verbally attacking her. Things that at any time would validly allow a separation, but especially on a first date. But Kennedy stays. In this action, Willow gets the feeling of Tara's love again. She gets the understanding that unconditional love offers us as people. There's no specific reason that we deserve to be loved. We just are. And when we allow that love to better ourselves, we get to become human in our truest functions. As a character, Tara Maclay works phenomenally in helping the other characters around her and the viewers that watch her find things worth loving in themselves. Obviously, she isn't a real person, but her ability to function is one, since I know my experience in learning about myself through her is not a solitary one, is extraordinary. I have my doubts that the show's creators explicitly wrote Tara to teach a bunch of young queer kids to love themselves, but she does so anyway. And the love she teaches isn't just that queer love, it's unconditional love. A great strength that we as humans gain from being loved unconditionally is that with an understanding of our own innate worth, we are able to validate our exploration of our own emotions. Tara does this in the context of the show's characters and in the context of being a mechanism for real people to understand their own emotions. Fiction is not equivalent to unimportant or not real, because the love that the character of Tara inspires within members of Buffy's audience is so immense it is capable of saving lives, and there's nothing fictional about a life saved. As a supporting character, Tara gives the other characters a room where they don't have to be brave. They don't have to be anything aside from themselves to be worthy of her love. And in turn, the writers give the audience Tara, a character who we don't even have to like, but who will give us the ability to address and develop our own emotions, who teaches us how to choose love. And there's no more explicit act of love than that.